But if you have nothing else to say about the ELMS, I want to just touch on something that we found out about this week in regards to Dorian.
Yes, there's actually a few things we can talk about news related.
Yes.
But let's
I just
talk about
thought
Dorian.
I'm trying to make a good transition here with Dorian.
Because I have a few other things to add to that. Yeah.
Okay, nice. Well, the one thing that I wanted to touch on, which we had talked about, and we're so excited for her, that it has been announced or revealed that she is getting her own private F1 test because she's been impressing Mercedes, the team, in the simulator. It went so well. Yeah. She even says, like, there's a quote that she said, it went well. It went really well.
Yeah.
So that Toto has also said that she is getting a private test. We don't know when it will happen. She also has not yet been fitted for a seat. So I'm sure it will take a little bit longer until it happens. Yeah. But I'm so thrilled for her that she's getting that opportunity.
I mean, it will be a first time in a long time that a woman is even just testing in an F1 car.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously that wouldn't mean that she's going to get a seat in F1. Yeah. I think she would have to still go through F3 and F2, and unfortunately Dorian is already in her early 20s, which sounds very young, and she is very young, but just comparatively.
Well, okay, yes, I agree, and I also always have that argument.
Yeah.
But I'm also just because she's not that young doesn't mean she can't do it, because I mean, now we have 40-plus-year-old drivers in Formula One.
Yeah, but you're also comparing, like, that's an unfair comparison for her, I think.
It is an unfair comparison. The argument that I want to make with it is, like, she doesn't have to be 18 to make it into Formula One.
No, she doesn't have to be. And also, I don't think the expectation would be for her to win if she makes it. Like, you're like, it is also wildly dependent. If you can win a championship, are you in the right team? Are you in the right car? Right?
Yes.
Like, you're not winning the championship with a car with a Haas. Like, it's just not happening. It's just not fast enough, right?
Yes.
But it is also, like, just paving the way, right?
Yes.
It is paving the way and making it possible.
Yeah.
And
there hasn't been a woman in a while that has had the opportunity of testing in a Formula One car. I think Susie Wolff was the last one.
Was it 2013?
I think so. It's been a long time.
She was in a Williams. She did free practice for them.
Exactly. So this is a huge opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. And
I'm thrilled for her. Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely.
And I mean, we've been fans of hers ever since we've learned about her existence, really.
Yeah.
I mean, since we've watched F1 Academy, since she joined F1 Academy in her first year. And so I'm really excited for her. I mean, we've been following her career outside, of course, with the Iron Dames, now with the ELMS, and then this year Le Mans. So it's just I think it's really exciting.
It is awesome. And I think it is also this combination a little bit with, like, you could think, like, well, why is Marta or why is not Abby getting this opportunity? I think it is this combination of being part of the Mercedes team specifically. And then also, like, I think that is really being part of that driver academy is just, like, a huge, like, I mean, she did that, right? It's not like this was given to her, right?
No.
But that helps tremendously, you know? And then obviously she's a fantastic driver. She's, she's a great racer. And also, I forgot to mention, in ELMS, is one of the few categories where her statue is actually a big advantage because they don't have a weight limit. So she is a smaller
pocket rocket.
She's a pocket rocket. She's a woman of smaller stature.
Yes.
And this is like one of the few categories, because in the WEC there's weight requirements that has to be offset, I think, by ballast.
Yeah.
Whereas in the ELMS they don't have that yet.
Oh.
So that's kind of cool. Where it's like, hey, you're on smaller, like, take all the advantage that you can get, right? Because 20 years ago you had that in F1, but not anymore, right? So that's really, really awesome.
Yes.
Speaking of F1 drama, we had this week obviously the huge announcement that GP, so Max Verstappen's race engineer is gonna be leaving Red Bull and be joining in 2028 McLaren as the head of racing. So
racing officer.
It's definitely a promotion.
Yes.
And it's a step up. And that has obviously lit the F1 world on fire.
Yes.
Not only, like, of course, him leaving, it is also a very early announcement.
Yes.
And at first, I'm going to be honest, I was like, why would you announce this early, right? Because with Lewis leaving Mercedes, it's a little bit different because it was a year prior, but this is 2 years prior, right? And we know that GP is not going to be able to finish his. I think he's not able to do the full 2 years with Red Bull because there's a gardening leave that he has to take and all that stuff. But then I was like, oh yeah, like F1, there is no secrets. Like there will someone who would leak it to someone at some point, right? It is just like the gossip world, and it's like everyone who's able to leak something will leak something. So keeping something under wraps is just not an option.
Yeah. But what a big shocker.
What a huge
especially
shocker.
Going from Red Bull to McLaren. I mean, it's not the first person who's went from Red Bull to McLaren over the last couple of years from what I've read.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. McLaren has been poaching the fuck out of Red Bull.
But it's also like that it's GP. And then, of course, the rumor mill is like cooking like crazy.
Oh,
also,
goodness.
of course, the whole discussion of like, well, if GP is leaving, is Max going to leave? Because there's like this old interview where Max says whenever GP leaves, he leaves.
Yes.
And of course, we know that Max has been unhappy. So people have already been speculating
Yeah.
when Max will leave Formula One potentially. So it's like,
Yeah. I mean, it is this thing where it's like obviously I'm on Reddit and I follow a bunch of different like subreddits in regards to F1. And it is like this thing also now with us being off from any F1 racing for so long, it is not helping because it's like people are like, oh, is Max gonna go to McLaren? Because there's rumors that he might be going to McLaren. I think with having no association with anyone to anything, I think it would be really surprising if McLaren would sign Max. And the reason, like, I get that most people would take Max Verstappen because why wouldn't you, right? But I think McLaren has a really, really good thing going for them. They have two very fast drivers. You have the current reigning driver champion, right? You have someone who is battling for the driver championship for a very long time and leading it last year too. And on top of that, I think like Oscar and Lando have a really good relationship, right? There's not a lot of like infighting and stuff like that. And not that Max would bring that, but I think what they did last year in the last 2 years, and I hate talking about it, right? But I'm going to say it. But the whole like papaya rules, that would never fly with Max.
no.
And I think I would be just really surprised if he ended up there. But I also think I would be very surprised to see Max racing for anything else but Red Bull. I think, and once again, I have this is me just speculating. I think I would see Max leaving F1 until new regulations come, and then he might come back, and he might not come back then with Red Bull. That's the only time I would see him then, because I could see that he might leave and then race in like Red Bull livery cars and other things, like how he did in the Nürburgring.
So he essentially, you're saying he will pull in Alonso, he will go race Indy or he race NASCAR, or for him it's probably more endurance racing.
Yes,
I would say than the
like,
American racing.
He would win, like Alonso probably go and try to win Le Mans and do like endurance racing, do a lot of also racing that he enjoys. And then if he would like maybe the newer regulations, then again, maybe come back for that. I think I would be surprised to see if he ended up signing with Mercedes. I think I would be even more surprised than I was with the Lewis Ferrari move.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. We can only speculate. I mean, we all speculate.
All of these are speculations, right?
I mean, I'm curious to see what will happen.
Yeah.
I was definitely shocked when I woke up to that news this week. I was like, wow. And also, like you said, it was such an early news.
Yeah.
And then, of course, like you also said, like there's no other F1 news happening right now.
Yeah.
So then, of course, there's so much more space to just kind of get lost in that. But yeah, I mean, I guess only time will tell.
I think the only F1 news is like we'll have more next weekend, depending on how much we find out. Because I think on the April 15th and 16th, they're going to sit down to talk about the regulations and about the changes they want to make to it.
Yeah.
So that is the only thing that will now feed into the rumor mill. But like it is sometimes it's been tough being online in all these because it's like, what if this and it's just like a bunch of like posts about bullshit. I'm just like, bro, we don't know, right? And the speculation of it is like sometimes I do get tired of it.
I mean, sometimes it's fun to kind of get lost in the speculations and like thinking about what are the options, but we'll find out eventually.
Yeah, absolutely. I did also have something else I wanted to bring up. And so one of them is, this is also F1 before I'm going to move on from this. So there have been from senior management in Cadillac, and I think people are saying that it was Mario Andretti making comments about Checo and Bottas and that he's unhappy with them. And the thing about it is, what my thought about when I saw this was, why would you 3 races in create such like a quote unquote disturbance in the force? Because like I think, and like we've talked about, it's like Cadillac.
Sorry, I think it's absolutely ridiculous.
It is insane.
It's absolutely bonkers.
But I think he's upset. I don't know that. I don't know if exactly what the grievance is. But the thing about it is like, people were talking about, it's like, well, you could have taken a senior driver and then you could have put in a junior in. But in reality, Cadillac, and I think most people agree with that, and we talked about it on the pod, picking Checo and Bottas was the right decision because you want senior drivers, people who have been who've been fighting for championships, people who have been on podiums, people know what they're talking about, you know? You want them in the car so you can help develop the car. And then maybe in 2 years' time, you can then see
you can bring in your Colton Herta.
You can see how he's doing in F2 and if he's going to be able to make the jump into F1, right? But to go in 3 races into the season and to create that and say these things, it's just like, who are you helping with this?
You're helping nobody.
You know,
you're just causing drama.
Yeah.
And then also, like, what have they done that you're unhappy with? They're desperately trying to finish a race.
Yeah.
Which they did last time. They both were able to finish the race. So that was already a huge win. So what else do you want from them? Are you expecting them to get into Q3? Are you expecting them to make points?
He saw the F1 movie and he was like, why are you guys not doing that?
Yeah, why don't we do Plan C, chaos, or whatever? Very quickly, just a fun fact, I'm pretty sure it's correct, is that Mario Andretti was born in Croatia on close to one of the stages that they raced this weekend. Oh,
interesting.
Yes.
So he's not American. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
He's just living the American dream.
No, but it is just like, when I saw that, I was like, bro, and I don't know if it specifically was him, but people were saying that it was him, so I don't know. But it's like, bro, you're not helping anyone. I don't know if also the critique was that both of them have been out of an F1 car for so long. But it's like, first of all, you knew that.
Yes.
Bottas was the reserve driver last year, so he did put plenty of time in at least the sim.
Yes.
Right? And it's like, and you're also happily accepting all the sponsorship money that Checo's bringing in, right?
So you need to...
I do believe that I could see that once that stint is over, I think it might be difficult for both of them to find a seat anywhere else.
Yes.
Unless someone else has a fall off from form. I think there was talks about Bottas potentially an Aston Martin.
Yes, I remember hearing that conversation.
It also doesn't sound like Alonso is willing to leave because he said he didn't want to finish his F1 career on a bad note.
Well, and also he just became a dad, so diapers are expensive.
He needs to make the money, right?
He needs the money now.
Economy.
Just economy, exactly.
First of all, that, but then, but
Sorry,
I almost forgot to mention it. You know who had who raced in GT3 this weekend?
No.
His teammate Lance Stroll.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was racing in GT3. I think it was part of the GT World Championship.
Oh.
I don't know. I know that they ended up qualifying in like 19th or something like that.
Doesn't matter.
But the way the qualifying works also, I think all the drivers, they do a lap and then they average it out.
Yeah.
Either way, but he seemed really excited. I was like, bro, might as well. Because the thing about it is, even if you're slow F1 racer, for most parts, you're going to be fast in most other categories, right?
Because you're still a really good driver.
You are, and you have to get the super license points. Like, even though you're bought in, and I think maybe Mazepin is the exception to this, like, he's just, questionable driver.
Yeah.
But he did really well also in the Asian Le Mans series last year, right?
Yes.
So it's like, you are still a fast racer,
as much as we like to shit on him, he's still a decent driver.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it is something else that you get obliterated by a guy who's like, 15 years older than you.
Yes.
But it's also, we're talking about Alonso here,
and he is also a multiple world champion.
Yeah. So I'm not denying that,
Yeah.
but it is very much this thing where it's like he said like it's very unlikely in F1 to win something.
Yeah.
But in GT3 it is much more likely for you to win a race. And I was like, yeah, I think that's fair.
I think that's
you know,
100% fair.
especially given the skills that you have.
Yes. Did you have any more news? I have one more thing. It's a very positive thing, so I wasn't sure what your vibe
Let me
is.
bring mine up first. So I had read this week there was this article that went out. I think John Muir did an interview, and he essentially explains why he crashes so often in MotoGP, right? And the consensus about it. Well, let me tell you. So he essentially said that I guess the Honda that he's on, there's a lot of issues with the back tire, and I don't know if it's like the braking or whatever. So he has to like front load a lot, and he has to push a lot more to make up the differences that the bike can't do. And like a lot of people are just like, well, mate, but you're still not staying on the bike, you know. And the thing, like you're saying, like you're pushing all the stuff, but you consistently falling off is like, well, that means that you're pushing too far, right? You're pushing too much, because he would have finished P3 in the sprint race if he didn't crash out because of the Acosta and thing. And then he dropped the bike twice in the US GP, right? And then, so people are like, well, I get what you're saying, but that's the whole point, that you have to find the margin where you're within it, right?
Fair.
And as someone, both of us who are rooting for Joan to stay on the bike, it is very much true what people are saying, like, mate, you are saying all these things, but everyone else is probably pushing as much as they can too, but they're able to stay on the bike. And it's not like just this year. It's been the last couple of years. When we started watching, 3 seasons ago? So we're in our third season now,
we're on our third season now,
How many times did he crash out?
I do want to say, just because I like to give people the benefit of the doubt, 2 things. One, towards the end of last season, he had some really excellent races. He stayed on the bike so much, and I was so excited for him. We even saw him at the podium, if I'm not mistaken, right? So that was really exciting.
I mean, he is a championship winner.
No, he is. But then the other point that I wanted to make is I understand what he's saying, and I also understand what people are saying, that like it's your job to figure out the limit and then don't go past it, because all the drivers are taking it or all the riders are taking it to the limit and need to figure out. And even Mark makes a mistake, or Marco makes a mistake, or all of them make mistakes, but they don't make them as consistently, or they don't get off the bike as consistently as he does. However, I'm curious why, because he gets off the bike so often, why he still has a contract then.
I think he had signed a long. I think
he signed contract?
like a 4-year contract. I think with Honda. So I think that is very much this, and I don't know how, because like he does have these moments where he very much shines. So I don't know.
I know, and that always gets me so excited for him, because I'm like, you're so close, and he gets very close to the podium. He's made it onto the podium, like, so there's so much potential there. So it's just a matter of like, is it really the bike? Is it you?
Yeah.
And obviously, I feel like Honda sees something in you because you're still with them.
Yeah.
Like, yes, of course, there might be a contract stuff in play, but I'm also pretty certain that if Honda would want to, they could maybe go a different way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think MotoGP like operates on a much smaller budget than F1. So I don't know how willing teams are, especially if you're not like the front running team, how willing they are to break contracts.
Well, I don't know also what kind of clauses would be in there. Like, do you have to buy out the full contract, or what it is?
I'm assuming, or I don't know.
I don't know. But I'm like, it's interesting to hear that. Obviously, it's still early into this season, so we'll see how it goes. But we did have some incredible glimpses of him last season. Yeah, and that's also when we surprisingly found out that he is a winner.
I think Cacti Tiger told us about him. Like,
yes. I was like, what?
I did also want to bring up one more thing, because there's these talks that Pedro Acosta will obviously sign with Ducati. And some people were saying like, oh, maybe he can rejuvenate like Mark to find his like form again. But people are saying it's like Mark is not racing the way he is because of injury. So he's not 100% again. And I think people are also saying that maybe because he's made a comment that like he is now like listening to his body and it's more thing, because I think if Mark doesn't find back to form like how we saw him last year. I think this is more also like him, like also this thing is like he has won everything now. He has set records that might not be broken for a long time. He has won 7 championships now, right? So it is like, and he has also done the thing that I think he wanted to. He had the big injury, right? And he recovered from it and he won the championship, right? So it is like this thing is like, it would, I think maybe within himself now he has found like the peace in it, because I thought this is like completely different sport, but I think like towards the end of Roger Federer's career, like you could see that like the bite wasn't there anymore as it used to be, because it's like, yeah, man, you have won everything so many times, right? So it's like maybe the hunger for it isn't there anymore compared to someone like Pedro Acosta, right? Who's very much at the beginning of his racing career.
Yeah. But I don't think that like you were saying, like I don't think a Pedro Acosta would bring Mark back to his peak. Like, I don't think anybody but himself can. And then like, yes, obviously has had a lot of physical injuries, not just the big one in the past, but also recently. There's been a lot of things.
A big injury, and I think people are pointing out that he's riding the bike differently. He's also said it himself. I think his arm, the way it is held, and that will just affect you, right? Yes. Until he's back to 100%. I mean, hopefully once we have the next MotoGP race, it will help him recover from that.
Yes.
But you don't want like a Jorge Martin situation where like you stumble from one injury into the next, and then it escalates in you not being able to race for a year.
Yes.
Obviously Jorge is doing so fantastic right now. So
for him.
That's awesome.
But I also want to say that makes me I'm already grateful for it that we got to experience Mark's comeback.
Yes.
Because we weren't part of MotoGP yet when he had his big come up in the sport, but like seeing his comeback or experiencing it.
Seeing his first win after 1,000 days, right? That was so magical.
I have goosebumps because it's such a special moment in history
of the sport.
You know? And I think also you could say it's a big moment in sport or as an athlete in general to come back from such a harrowing injury to then come back and win again and win in the most incredible fashion
like
that you
didn't
missed
race the last 4 or 5 races.
Exactly. So it's absolutely astonishing. So I'm so grateful that we got to experience it.
Absolutely.
So if he would say tomorrow, I'm going to be done, my body can't do it anymore, or I don't want to do it anymore for whatever reason, I'm literally constantly looking at the thingy that's right here, our little Mark Marquez figurine. I would be fine with it. I would be sad because obviously I would miss him as a character.
Fancy Mark,
but there's so many other riders with personality there, and they also I'm hoping for them that they have incredible opportunities and careers and stuff like that. So I would be fine.
Yeah, and it's also like I feel like we have joined the sport at a really, really awesome time, because now we get to see the magic of Bez.
Yes,
and
that's so exciting.
Bez has kind of like become like a favorite of ours over time too, because we are like, I mean, in general we're always rooting for people to do well, right? 100%. There's no one really I'm ever like, oh, I don't want you to win, right? But it is
there's a few. Hayden Deegan.
Okay, never mind.
But there's very, like, for most people, we want them to do well, we're excited for them to do well. And like you said, we love Bez. He's such a character.
He's so awesome,
and he's
dude,
doing so well.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited for him. But also on the other hand, I'm excited for Jorge. And I'm excited to watch them battle. I'm excited for Pedro Acosta to join in. And Alex. And there's so many people up in there. Ayogura. I'm really watching him.
Awesome. Yes.
So, I mean, it's, like you said, it's a thrilling time.
It is.
For it. I mean, people who've been with MotoGP for a long time, they might say, oh, there were better times when Valentino was racing or whatever, but I'm like, doesn't matter. This time is exciting for me.
Exactly. Like, like it is exciting for me. I'm sure there were some seasons where were like really, really awesome, but it's been really exciting.
Yes.
I think in motorsports overall.
Yes.
I know that people are very upset with the F1 regulations, but last year we had a fantastic
Yes.
season. And I don't know. I'm just excited. Things
Yes.
are like awesome.
Okay, so speaking of exciting, the way I want to end this video, and I had touched on it or hinted at it this week when we were talking. And so there's like something really exciting that happened in World Supersport. So World Supersport is part of the Superbike Championship, right? And then so in Portimao in March in Portugal, this was the first time that a Chinese manufacturer won both races or won a race in general.
Go.
And it was such a big deal. And I saw a bunch of videos online where the guy who had founded, who had created, literally created the motorcycle was there. He started as a mechanic in China, making his way through it, making his way through the motorcycle racing because that was his dream. And I'm curious to dig a little bit deeper into it. But so they won in March 2026 in Portugal. A huge thing because, of course, we know motorcycle is dominated by Ducati, Honda, Yamaha,
Suzuki.
KTM, Suzuka. Like, there are all these...
Suzuka?
Suzuka. Did I say Suzuki?
No, it's Suzuki. It's not Suzuka. Suzuka's the track.
Oh, so obviously they've been dominated by European and also Japanese manufacturers. Yes. So then for a Chinese one to come into the mix is really, really exciting. It's a huge milestone.
It is, and it's also just shows like, but this takes time, right? This goes back to like the Cadillac situation. Like you're brand new to the sport. Like you're not gonna roll up and win. That's just not a situation that's gonna happen.
So
if you think about it, what is it? Mercedes, they didn't have their first race win until 2012 when Lewis joined, and they had been in the sport for a long time, right? Like. You're not going to come in and be super competitive, dude.
That's delusional.
That's awesome that you know that you have that's happening.
Yeah. So I thought it was really, really fascinating. So I wanted to share this because like I said, I'd seen a couple videos about it. They're of course very emotional with like the Instagram undertone music, you know. Stop reading the article.
Yeah, but it says right here, they've also won teams championship, including last year when the Yamaha 8.9, while they won the Ana Carrasco, because I saw Ana Carrasco and I was like, she won it as I was like, she won 2 titles that year. No, it was World WCR. She won that year. Yeah.
But so I just wanted to share this really exciting.
That's
news.
awesome. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
It's just also like. I mean, this is with any sports, but it is like it gets so emotional and so exciting.
Yeah.
But
then it goes back to the thing again, like we've been saying, because it goes back to the human factor.
Exactly.
It's the human stories. It's the human excellence. It's pushing the human to the limit.
It's the failure, right? Like Mark having this insane career, then having this horrific injury, right? And then not succeeding and then coming back from that, right? This is what makes the sport exciting, you know?
And it's not just the people on the bikes or in the cars, it's the people building them. It's everybody who goes with it. There's so much that goes into it. So many humans that go into creating these incredible moments.
Or if you think about it, like Isaac Hadjar, right? His first race in F1, he didn't even make it past the formation lab. Heartbreaking. Then he had a fantastic season. Now he's in a main car, right? Obviously struggling the Red Bull. But like this is what makes it exciting, you know?
Yes.
Ay, Dios mío.
That's why we love it.
Yeah, that's why racing is awesome, you know?
Exactly.
I mean, sports in general, I think we both love most sports and enjoy.
A lot of sports, yes.
That's why I'm saying most, not everything, because I'm sure there's plenty of stuff that I don't like.
Yes.
But it is just like, that's what makes it interesting. Yes. I don't want to see an AI thing racing. Like, who gives a shit? I want to see the humans, you know?
Yeah.
Pro-human.
We're pro-human on this channel.
We're pro-humans on this channel.
That's another tagline for the video. Pro-humans.
Anyways, I think that brings us to the end. Again, I said it in my what to watch, and if you made it to the end, thank you. But because this is a mess. But it is like just because F1 is not happening or MotoGP doesn't mean there isn't awesome racing. Look what's happening out there. Like there's so much. And if you want to find out more, on Thursday we'll be back with what to watch.
Yes.
Plenty of awesome things.
We'll see you then.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment.
Bye.
Bye-bye.